Hello there, I'm Thomas Hatsios, the pilot, captain flying the Boeing 777-300 ERX of the PMDG simulation system night flight. We're gonna be flying from Zurich International Airport, overflying Switzerland and Germany, and then coming back to Zurich International Airport for landing. So right now I'm in the cockpit for the pre-takeoff preparation. I'm gonna show you the aircraft, the Boeing, this airplane, the Boeing 777-300 ERX. So I'm gonna show you things inside the cockpit, like the primary flight display with the airspeed display and the altitude display, the vertical rate of climb and descent display, the radio altitude above the ground level, the altitude above the sea level, the barometric altitude above sea level, the barometric pressure, magnetic heading, the airspeed selected and the altitude selected from the autopilot flight director system panel, and also the modes are selected by the autopilot and the autothrottle system, like the takeoff, ground, the speed guidance, the vertical and the horizontal navigation guidance, the LS localizer, approach and landing, and also the horizontal situation indicator display with the flight guidance of the aircraft in bank angle 4 degrees. So I'm gonna show you the navigation display with the GPS display, the airports, uh, the terrain data. So we have the airports display, the terrain data from the radar, and also from the weather radar, and also the airports, the waypoints, the navig, the ADFs, the board stations. This is the radio navigation aid of the aircraft Boeing 777-300 ERX. So I'm gonna show you also the flight plan we're gonna be create, the position of the aircraft in the navigation display. All this is created from the air.ms reference unit, the ADIRU system, which is in the overhead panel. I'm gonna show you how to set up the ADIRU and how to set up the GPS position of the aircraft. I'm gonna show you other things like the other aircraft flying around displayed in the navigation display using the TCAS, the traffic collision alert system, and the transponder to transmit and receive our position and the other aircraft position and altitude, and also direction of flight. So I'm gonna show you also the autopilot flight director system with the dual localizer, the flight director, the auto throttle, the speed guidance select switch, and also the flight level change, the LNAV, the lateral navigation, the VNAV, vertical navigation, the autopilot engage and disengage thrust, the auto throttle engage and disengage button, and also uh, the horizontal guidance using the heading select and the bang angle limit when the aircraft is flying for the autopilot. I'm going to show you also the VS mode, the vertical speed for flight path angle, FPA mode of the autopilot flight director system. I'm going to show you also the altitude hold or select switch. With that, I'm going to show you the ETIS panel, the electronic flight instrument system panel of the aircraft. I'm going to show you other systems like in the overhead panel and the ACAS, the displays, the identification and crew alert system. I'm going to show you the displays of the engines, the N1, which is the low speed, low pressure compressor stage of the engine, the exhaust gas temperature, the flap setting, the compressed air from the engine bleeds for the cabin pressurization system, displayed also in the upper ACAS, and the warnings and some other full messages. And I'm going to show you the lower display with the engine display like the N2, which is the high pressure, high rotor stage of the turbofan turbojet engine, the oil temperature, quantity, and the vibration of the N2 stage of the engine of its turbofan turbojet engine, and also the fuel flow in thousands of kilograms per engine per hour. Also the total quantity of fuel displayed in the upper ACAS. So we also have other systems displayed in the ACAS, the identification crawler system, like the electrical, and we have also these systems in the overhead panel, like the left and right engine integrate drive generators, which drive each one electrical alternator, which produces 115 volts, 75,000 kilovolts, or 75,000 watts of electrical alternate current, 400 Hz CPS frequency. It's left and right engine, and also we have the APU, which is an auxiliary power unit to create additional 75,000 kilovolts or use it for engine start. We also have the backup generators for each engine, C1 and C2, like the hydraulics. So we also have the transformer rectifier, so we can transform the alternate current from the engines into direct current. And also we have direct current from the batteries, the primary and the APU, and also we have the static inverters. We have 28 volts, about 47 ampere hours from each battery. We can convert this direct current into alternate current using the static inverters, and I'll show you also that. We have the conductors of the electrical system. We also have the hydraulic system panel, the left and right engine hydraulic, which produces each one 3000 psi pounds per square inch pressure of hydraulic fluid into the flight control surfaces like the ailerons, flaperons, spoilers, speed brakes, elevator, horizontal tail stabilizer of the aircraft, and also the rudder, and also the thrust reversers, the landing gear, extended track, the nozzle steering, and the normal and alternate braking of the aircraft. All these systems use hydraulic pressure from the engines or from the APU, maybe some additional from the rammer turbine, the RAT, which can be extended in flight. We also have the ADIRU, the Air Data Inertial Reference Unit. I'm going to explain you later with the GPS that displays, displays the GPS information and the magnetic field heading, and the barometric and anemometric data from the pitot static and pitot anemometric. We also have the angle of attack of the aircraft and gyroscopic laser acceleration of deceleration of the aircraft vertical and horizontal. We have also other displays like the backup hydraulic C1 and C2. We have also the wing and engine RDIs. We have the electronic engine controllers for the FADEX, the full authority digital engine control computers, one dual channel for each engine, which controls and monitors all the displays and the function of the engine from start to shutdown and during flight also, using the auto thrust system and some other systems. So also controls the fuel flow, the thrust, the exhaust gas temperature, and the EN1 and 2 limits, and also the oil temperature and oil quantity, the vibration, other kind of limits for the engine. So I'm gonna show you also the flight control computers, primary flight control computer suites. I'm gonna show you also the fuel tanks, left and right wing engine with the fuel pumps forward and aft, and also the exit valves, which can be used to feed any engine from any tank, wing tank having fuel, or the sender tank, which also has forward and aft fuel pumps. So also we have the fuel dump. We can dump fuel in flight, the fuel jettison. We also have the cabin pressurization system, which admits pressurized air from the left and right engine, 5th and 9th stage turbofan compressor, turbojet compressor stages of the turbofan turbojet engines of the aircraft. So it uses this air to compress the aircraft, the airplane cabin inside. So we also have the outflow valves, which can be used manually instead of having the automatic mode of cabin pressurization in flight or the pressurization in descent. We open and close the outflow valve to pressurize and depressurize the aircraft. We also have other systems like we're gonna have like an hour more for this flight and 4 minutes. So we have other systems like the left and right engine, as I said, bleeds and also the APU bleed, which is used to pressurize the engine starter in the ground when we start the engines of the aircraft, when the aircraft is in the cold and dark state. We start the APU after the batteries, and we start the engines left and right. Engine using the APU compressed air instead of using the engine to pressurize the engine starter, the turbofan turbojet engine start process using the auto start system with the EC, the electronic engine controller computer of the fleet services are located in the overhead panel. We also have other systems like the flight management computer. I'm gonna set up a flight plan using the aircraft data like its weight and fuel, and we're gonna create a flight path, the autopilot, or we're gonna follow it. The autopilot is gonna follow, or gonna be followed manually when flying. I'm also going to show you the thrust levers, how to control the turbofan turbojet of engines of the Boeing 777-300 aircraft. To control its thrust, I'm going to show you the takeoff go-around switch, and also the auto thrust disconnect switch in the engine levers, thrust levers. I'm going to show you other things like thrust reverse, the speed brake, the flap lever, the flight controls, control column and yoke, the control column and control wheel, the yoke of the Boeing aircraft. I'm gonna show you also the radio communication panel with the radio navigation and other systems like the weather and terrain radar, the transporter for the other aircraft, and also other systems. So I'm gonna start right now showing you. Thank you very much, Lszh. I'm Thomas Hatsios, the pilot captain, flying the Boeing 777-300 ERX of the PMGC simulations in this flight. So thank you very much for joining me in this flight. I'm gonna start right now showing you all the aircraft systems by starting maybe by the flight control. So you can see here we have the cockpit of the Boeing 777-300 ERX. We have the yoke here, the control column, control wheel of the Boeing 777. We control the elevator, pitch up and pitch down, and also the ailerons and flaperons during flight. We also control the radar pedals for the radar to control the aircraft trajectory in flight. So you can see most of the cockpit, the thrust levers here, the speed brakes. We have the flaps here. We have the engine thrust levers here. We have some warning. This is the primary flight display. So I will show you now the primary flight control using the control column and the control yoke, the control wheel, or the yoke of the Boeing aircraft, or the side stick of the Airbus. So I'm having here, as you can see, I'm having a side stick to control the aircraft in flight, pitch up and pitch down, also bang roll left and right, which is used for the Airbus, also for the Boeing quite well. We can pitch up and pitch down the horizontal tail stabilizer elevator, and also pitch up and pitch down, trim up and trim down manually the horizontal tail stabilizer, also bang roll left and right the ailerons and the spoilers, and also yaw left and right the rudder. So we have also the thrust levers here. We have the flap position here, down and up. Speed brakes here. There's warning. So you can see hopefully how I'm using this stick here to control the aircraft in flight. It's up, it's down. Also bang roll left and right. You can see here the position of the flight controls inside the cockpit, the yoke. So you can see also here the navigation display. We have it on displays You can see the flight control position. We have the flaps extended and also the speed brake. You can see here the left right wing, the engine, left and right engine, and the flight control position. You can see the elevator moving up and down, the stabilizer trim of the aircraft 4 degrees up, and also the rudder pedals moving the rudder, the tail, the vertical tail of the aircraft. So you can see now also in the outside position. So you can see how I'm using this control stick and the side stick of the aircraft. So I'm gonna show you now outside. You can see the Boeing 777 here. I hope you like the Boeing 777. Yeah, I'm gonna make an engine start demonstration. I'm gonna show you right now how to use the flight controls, how to use the elevator and the rudder. You can see I pitch up and pitch down the aircraft using the elevator of the horizontal tail, and also yaw the aircraft left and right using the tail, the rudder of the tail, rudder pedals. So we have also here, if I extend the speed brakes, maybe you see better view of the spoilers in its wing. So I'm gonna show you now how to use it using the stick, the side stick, which is also an Airbus side stick, the Logitech Extreme 3D. So you can see pitch up, pitch down, and also bang roll left and right. It's identical motion like in the Airbus. Identical kind of motion with proportional movement of the flight controls, like the elevator and the other ones from the rudder. So there's no difference between these two, the Boeing and the Airbus. Only the Airbus is fly by wire, so Boeing 777 is fly by wire too. It's quite different fly by wire. Maybe some similarities. So it's so much for this lesson of the flight controls. Pitch up and pitch down the elevator, also the ailerons and spoilers, the rudder pedals, the thrust levers, stabilizer trim and flaps. Now I'm going inside the cockpit to show you the rest of the flight. We have about an hour left for this flight for the Boeing 777. So I'm gonna have to be a little bit more fast with this 33. We have about 57 minutes left for this flight. So you can see here, as I told you, we have the flight control column. We have the pitch trim of the elevator here, up and down. Also the autopilot disconnect switch here. You can disconnect the autopilot using the switch. So you can see the flight controls here, still having them. You can see the stabilizer trim also here and its position, the horizontal tail of the aircraft. Here is the vertical tail position of the trim, the vertical tail of the aircraft, the rudder. Fire extinguishers, here's the left and right electric trim cutout switches. We have them in the normal, not in the cutout. The fuel flow levers for the engines. Here's the engine thrust levers. The auto thrust disconnect button switch here. The takeoff go around. You can see the takeoff go around being on if we press this switch. So maybe we'll do it later. We have the flight directors here, the auto thrust, arm and disarm. You're gonna increase the thrust here, the airspeed. Actually, press this switch. Every switch is the press ball. You can see also the heading of the aircraft here. So I'm not gonna lose too much time. We have about an hour left for this flight. We have higher altitude here. Select the altitude level, the vertical speed here, flight path angle of the aircraft. You can see also select VS or VPS, flight path angle in degrees, 1000 of feet per minute. This is negative, minus 600. Now it's positive, plus 1200, 300. So we have the select here, also the hold. If we change the mode, we cancel the other one. We have the autopilot connect here, connecting switch for the Boeing 777 airplane. So you can see heading, select altitude, and autopilot message in the primary flight display. So we can disconnect using either switch here in the control, or we disconnect the autopilot, or using this switch here also. It disconnects the autopilot, disengage. So we have the warning, cancel the warning. You can see here we have the primary flight display, the airspeed selected, the altitude selected, the barometric altitude above sea level, the barometric pressure of the air level we are, magnetic through heading, radio altitude, the pitch ladder in degrees with the flight director on. Also we have heading, select altitude, and here is the auto thrust. So 175 knots right now is the airspeed selected by the autopilot. Minimum airspeed right now is 30 knots, and ground speed is 0, and the barometric altitude above sea level is 1430 feet, and this is the rate of climb and descent tape, just besides to the right side of the altitude, very important when landing and when taking off. So this is the terrain display with the map, the airports, the nav aids. We're gonna have the flight plan, magnetic through heading also here. You can see the terrain level 6,100 feet maximum for this range, and 0 feet with green also for this range. So maximum is with red, intermediate is with yellow. The heading here we have VNAV, LNAV, LNAV and VNAV, and also approach localizer mode, overlock mode. The mode, speed brakes here, select. So we have other things to show you very quickly. We have quite less than 45 minutes maybe left for this flight. So maybe I'm gonna come in this we have the modes here, the engine mode. We have also the status here of the aircraft. So you can see we have the hydraulics, the APU is off, and the oxygen 1770. So we turn on the APU right now. We need to make the engine start demonstration. So you're gonna see the APU starting very quickly. You're gonna see the APU rotations per minute and the exhaust gas temperature increase. After a couple of seconds, 0 psi. We have turned the switch. Now here we go. Start moving. We have more oil pressure, no oil temperature, oil quantity, exhaust gas temperature, pressurized air from the APU. So we come here, we'll see in the synoptics we have the doors are closed and pressurized the aircraft. Maybe see this display, better display for this. So we have, you can see the doors here of the aircraft. You can see the landing gear, the pressure of its tires, the nozzle, and also the parking brakes, the brake system temperature. So we have the electrical here, left and right engine, This is the great drive generators, the volts from the batteries, as you can see, the APU battery. This is the generators, drive, left and right engine drive and the APU battery. For right and current we have the drive, and also we have the APU here, up here, which is on right now but not connected. We have white line, no current flow. Current flow is the green line. So also the backup generators not supplying also. Here we have the hydraulic, left and right engine hydraulic system. You can see the pressurization from each left and right engine, and the backup generators here in the center. Left engine, right engine, the demand is all for the left engine, primary. You can see the flight controls that receives pressurized with the flaps, the main gear, flight controls, right and left reverse, engine reverse. So we have nose gear and steering, alternate, reserve brakes. So this is all the system of hydraulic. So we have flaps, stabilizer trim, rudder, ailerons and spoilers, speed brakes, struts, other wing surfaces, horizontal stabilizers and electric trims. Here's the left and right engine, left wing, right wing fuel quantity, the fuel tank. You can see the quantity of fuel. The cross feed right now is off. So if we come here, over here the upper panel, you will see we have a nice view here also of the aircraft. This view of the inside of the aircraft. So you can see the Boeing 777 airplane. So cockpit. So here is the fuel system. We can turn on the fuel crossfeed. So we turn off all the pumps and leave only one pump on. So we'll see here we have all pumps except left and right. Forward is still on and the crossfeed on. So either engine is supplied. I'm coming back in the overhead panel, upper panel. Pressurize this one back. This is the crossfeed, the fuel system of the aircraft. So this is the hydraulic I was telling you. You can see the hydraulic system. So turn off a couple of them just for display. You will see now the hydraulic is lost normally, the isolation here. So we're gonna have some fault messages here. We're gonna lose a couple of hydraulic system. You see hydraulic. So maybe we have no flight controls right now. So we come back over here in the overhead panel and turn on all pumps. Back into the auto. So we have no fault now from the hydraulic, as you can see, hydraulic system pump. So the hydraulic is back on like it was before, the fuel the same, left and right engine. You can see here's the low pressure engine fuel valves. The fuel quantity 47,200 kilograms. The APU also consuming from the left wing tank, and the crossfeed balances this. So the electrical here. I will show you later maybe what to do with that. The air system, the left and the right engine air system, the APU also. So we have 25 plus 10, 35. We have quite a few minutes. You can see the engine symbol here of the aircraft. the engine starter of the turbofan turbojet of the Boeing 777 airplane, the APU also connected but not supplying. We have the left and right engine supplying with compressed air. You can see the temperature inside the aircraft from the pressurized air. You can see here the Boeing 777. So we have the overhead upper panel again. We have the electrical here. You can turn on and off. We have the primary flight control computers. We have the ADIRU air data reference unit. I'm gonna talk to you about later. So we have the bleeder here. You can turn off the engines just for showing you how to start the engines. We need this configuration. If we start manually, we need to isolate the right engine, start the left engine using the APU later. So now the auto start system does not let the APU to supply because we have the engine on. So we also have here, this is so much for the system. So I'm gonna turn back this on in the auto mode. We have the cabin pressurization here, outflow valves, automatic and manual, and also the controllers for climbing and descending, pressurizing aircraft, selecting landing altitude for cabin pressurization during landing. So you can see we have it back into the normal. You can see the left and right engine, the bleed of the engine, the heat and nice states of the compressor of the turbofan turbojet engine. This is used for cabin pressurization, hydraulic fluid pressurization for the flight controls and parking brake, landing gear, nose wheel. So elevator, rudder, aileron spoilers and flaps, and also for the air conditioning and wind and engine at the ice. So, and also for engine starting using the APU. So here we have the flight controls I was showing you before. Everything is normal. So we have also the checklist mode. We have the stabilizer here, pre-flight, what we need to do before flight, oxygen, normal menu. We have before start here, we need to complete all the items before start. So checklist is complete here. We also have this menu, which is the normal. We have some failure system. For instance, if we have the engines, you can see non-normal menu for the failure. Engines and APU, damage fails for down thrust. Let's say engine fail right, thrust is lost in both engines. No. Then what you need to do? Continue with this. Restart is needed. Yes or no. You can see it's different configuration for either. Slow acceleration, as long start, or this is for abnormal start. If you have an engine failure, no. So this is yes or no. So we keep continue with that. What we need to do. So we go back into the normal menu for this. We have the resets here. So we go into the virtual cockpit. So maybe we're gonna show you how to start the engines. I'll show you most of the overhead lower, overhead upper panel. So we have everything. We have the on the ice here. You can see the fuel tanks and pumps, the electronic engine control computers here, the engine start, the auto start on and off, the fuel jettison arm or disarm, the fuel tanks, the hydraulics, the electrical, primary flight control computers, and passenger oxygen, the ADIRU or data reference unit. Couple more things to remember. Here is as I told you, autopilot and gates, disengage here. We have also hold here the various modes. You can see the switches are depressible. We have also the vertical speed here, flight path angle in degrees, climb or descend or climb. You can see the flight path angle and also hundreds and thousands of feet per minute. So we go back into the altitude hold, autopilot again engaged. Here disengage. You can see the autopilot engaged in the primary flight display on the flight mode annunciator. So we disengage again the autopilot. We have this warning here again. So you can see here we have other systems like the thrust levers here. If I move forward, you will see the engine thrust increase. We have the thrust reverse. We have the flap settings, the fuel quantity, the tach pressure. So flaps maybe for takeoff here. We can set it higher to 15 degrees here, like this. The speed brakes again, the parking brakes, and on off, the stabilizer trim, the fire extinguishers, left and right engine, and the fuel flow into the engine. So this is the modes of the aircraft, the navigation display, primary flight display. So we go very quickly for engine start, virtual cockpit, not losing time, turn off both left and right engine controllers here, go back into the engine mode. We have not much time. So we have about 40 minutes left for this flight. Need to be quite fast. You can see outside here. Have the aircraft here, the Boeing 727. So you can see we turn off left and right engine here. You see where we are right now. We'll do it very fast and lose any time. So you can see the left engine is off. Come here in the overhead panel. You can see the reconfiguration for starting the engine. So we start the left engine first. You can see the electrical here, the left and right engine generators are off. So when we start the engine starter is compressing the engine. You can see the N2 is increasing from 0. Also the N1 and the exhaust gas temperature. We have engine shut down here message. So fuel flow is 0 still. You can see the right wing engine start spinning. The left wing actually engine of this airplane. So we come here in this view. Also we see the spinning start spinning. So we have enough compression and temperature for starting the fuel flow valves. So you're gonna see we have like 36 minutes left for this flight. The fuel flow will increase very rapidly, and also the spinning of the engine. So we have the left wing engine start spinning. Now we go into the other side engine here. This is off. So we go inside, do the same, and we have a few more minutes to go. Start the right wing engine. You will see the N1 here be very slow. Also the exhaust gas temperature. The N2 increases very rapidly. The fuel flow is 0. So we have some engine spinning now for the right wing engine. But still no fuel flow is 0. So if we come here, we see the engine starts spinning. start compressing air from the APU. So we start the fuel flow into the right wing engine. So you will see the FF here, the fuel flow and the N2 increase very rapidly from 0 to 0.500 kilograms per hour right now. You see the engine starts spinning very quickly. You go for the right wing engine. You have also spinning. So we can now go into the cockpit, set up a couple of more things here. The flaps position down to 15. The autopilot setting here, the airspeed only. The overhead panel is fitted correctly, so automatically. So you only need this, the flight plan here of the flight management computer. We have the initialize, the menu, FMC, select the identity of the aircraft, position, initialize the position here of the aircraft. This is set initial position, so we set Lszh as the reference airport, set the inertial position, so index, we have the zero fuel weight and the gross weight of the aircraft, 188,700 kilograms plus 46,800 kilograms fuel, 235.5 thousand kilograms. The cruise altitude 25,000 feet, reserves fuel of 5%, cost index 100%. Very quickly, cruising temperature minus 37 degrees, cruising center of gravity. The route from Lszh to Lszh, runway 14. This is very quick setting up the flight plan. You're gonna see here been created. We have other aircraft also flying. So departure from this runway Lszh, this airport departure Zulu to Alpha, and arrival, this arrival Lszh also, Transnegria, Transamity. So we have a discontinuity here, activate and execute. So you will see the flight plan here created. Here's the flight plan. You can see the radar scan. So we have also a couple more things, cost index again 100 maybe percent, and also takeoff flaps 15 degrees, center of gravity 36% with V1 133, V rotate 141, and V2 155 knots. This is the takeoff speed and the center of gravity position of the aircraft with this flap setting, and the trim of this horizontal tail stabilizer over here, which should be 4 degrees here like it is right now, so we don't move this stabilizer trim here. So it will leave it the way it is. This is the control column and yoke here. So you can see here we have also the LNAV arm here. You can see all the modes now are ready for takeoff. So here we are, just ready for takeoff with this Boeing, ready just to taxi right now and then take off with this aircraft, this airplane. So we start the taxi into this runway. Disarm the parking brakes and move the thrust levers forward a little bit just to increase the thrust. We use the tiller here for the nosewheel steering into the ground. We don't need so much thrust. So the runway is free for us. We have no traffic. Only set the parking brakes again. I'll need some landing lights. You can see here the modes are correct, so you can see where we are in this airport, this runway, ready for takeoff. We have like 28 more minutes for this flight. So this is the aircraft, the Boeing 777. So increase the thrust levers. We can use another mode, the takeoff go around here switch. So we have the takeoff go around, thrust reference and heading hold, other kind of modes maybe use less. You can see the autopilot here connected right. So we have this warning, decrease the range for the takeoff. So we have, this is the takeoff go around thrust, 104.6%, you know. Autopilot disconnect. So this is the maximum thrust needed. We disarm the parking brakes and go. Here we go. Use some rudder pedals. 97 knots. 130 knots. V1. We rotate. Here we go. So we have positive rate of climb here. Retract the landing gear. You can see our radio altitude, our barometric altitude above sea level. You can see how to fly this departure. So we have like 35 more minutes for this flight. We can use manual thrust right now. Maximum takeoff ground thrust. So we need like 3 minutes to climb to the maximum altitude. You can see we cross the cloud right now. Keep climbing up. Maybe retract some flaps to a higher position. So this is the departure here of the Boeing 777. You can see the airport here, the Zurich International Airport. So we're gonna be flying with about 900 kilometers an hour, about 7,000 meters above the ground level. So this is the Boeing 777-300 ERX, tonight's flight. So this is the Boeing 777. Hope you like it. This airplane, quite fast. I'm gonna show you a little bit more inside now. You come later. So maybe I forgot to show you the star sign. You can see the night sky view. So this is our spacecraft for tonight, the Boeing 777. We have about 35 more minutes for this flight with this aircraft. Keep climbing up. You can see the wings and the turbojets, turbofan engines. So we need to turn into the waypoints now. We have to level off a little bit to increase the airspeed. There's also a little bit more thrust. So we're flying manually with flight directors right now. Climbing very fast to 35,000 feet. So come here 1 second and use all this direct to the Zuri waypoint here. Execute. So we flying direct into this waypoint. Then after is the maybe we cross 17,100 feet barometric altitude above the sea level. We're about 16,000 above the ground level. Our airspeed right now is Mach 0.46, 0.406, so about 500 kilometers an hour or 190 knots. So this is the flight director. You can see another aircraft flying close to us, plus 9,900 feet, the terrain. I will show you now again these flight controls. We have more of night now. So we have 20 more minutes left for this flight. You can see the flight controls using the ailerons and spoilers. The flight spoilers of the aircraft, left and right way. Also pitch up and pitch down the elevator of the horizontal tail of the aircraft. Here is the rudder pedals, left and right. The rudder position. So let's see the engine. It's quite high right now, 100% and 1. You can see also the standby instrument here. You can see the flap position, the fuel quantity, the N2, which is the high pressure, high rudder stage of the engine. You can see we have full thrust right now. As we go into this waypoint, which is 19 nautical miles away from us, we fly with about 600 kilometers an hour, Mach 0.94, 0.5 exactly, because 0.5 Mach. You see the airspeed here, the primary flight display, horizontal situation indicator. This is how clear graphics we have, and the fly mode annunciator of the autopilot auto thrust. Cross 33,000 feet, 33,100. So we cross 33,000 feet right now. It's flying manually. So we maybe have some chemtrails now. You can see also the star sign. Quite a lot of star sign now. 34,400 feet. We're gonna cross the lake. Here's the lake. 34,600. So here we are at our cruise altitude right now. We have to level off and also trim down the horizontal tail stabilizer a little bit and retract the flaps. We don't need so many flaps. We need to increase the airspeed in a while. I use flex maybe 1 for this turn. So here we are 35,000 feet, as you can see, holding level manually, max 0.652 or about 750 kilometers an hour. Need to reduce the thrust a little bit. Going too fast, maybe use the auto thrust speed. Side level change here. So we're gonna use this airspeed right now. We're gonna use a lower airspeed to stay close into the airport. We have about 18 minutes left for this flight. So we hold here level and start turning in a couple of seconds, 18 more minutes. So you see in front of us is the Germany. We have some airports maybe like EDTM. I'm gonna show you. EDTM, this is Munich in front of us. Just like 18 nautical miles or 128 kilometers away. You can see the Munich from this altitude, 35,000 feet right now. So we overflying the lake, as you can see here. You can see the handrails of the Boeing 777 and the contrail. A beautiful handrail. So we hold stable. You can see the vapors from the engines here as we bang roll now into the airport. So this is our airplane, the Boeing 777-300 ERX, flying with about 800 kilometers, 750 maybe, above the Switzerland, very close to Germany. Boeing 777-300 ERX. So this is our spacecraft for tonight. As you can see, the Boeing 777-300 ERX. This is the night sky we have here over Germany and Switzerland, overflying the borderline of the Bayern Munich, the Bavaria and Munich region, and also the St. Gallen Lake in Switzerland. So this way is Germany, as you can see. You can see the galaxy also, how high we fly, 35,000 feet. $34,116 right now. So we keep turning towards the airport direction, as you can see. So you can see the Bavarian and also the Swiss Alps right now. We're flying the St. Gallen Lake, 6,500 meters above the earth level, the ground level. We need to go back into the airport. So we need to level off here and maybe increase the airspeed level. Retract all the flaps right now to increase the airspeed. So we're flying. We have 14 minutes left to go. So maybe we can connect the autopilot now. Here, just show you how to connect the autopilot and fly with the autopilot on. And so we have some automatic thrust right now using the autopilot system. We're gonna be level off here and fly straight into this direction. Execute and also the arrival flaps and speed settings. So here we are, 34,900 feet with an autopilot setting right now. We have 14 minutes left for this flight. So we're flying the lake here. So this is our spacecraft for tonight. You can see the vapors from the engine. You can see the galaxy. We have the star sign here. The night sky. So about we have about 13 minutes left for this flight. We're in a good position. We are 13 minutes left for the Boeing 777. 300 here. You see the vapors from the engine. How high we fly with the airplane, the wing, and the turbojet engine of the Boeing 777. So we go back inside to see where we are. We need to start descending a while. We have to start descending now. Flight level change. Have maybe like 12 minutes to go. Vertical speed. Is this vertical speed and maybe some, I don't know, maybe some speed breaks here. You can see the thrust lever is moving automatically, so we go with an automatic descent using the autopilot. So we have like 11 minutes left for this flight. You can see our position, 23,500 feet. As we descend, we pass the chemtrails altitude. How high we are, 35,000 feet. Quite fast, about 800-900 kilometers an hour right now. Flying with 800-900 kilometers an hour. Mach 0.69, about 700 feet. You want higher speed, like Mach 0.77. So you can see the automatic thrust here. Keep descending. having this beautiful view as we return to the airport. 19,000 feet. We need like about 3 minutes to descend all the way down. So we're gonna have 80 minutes left for this flight as we descend. Mach 0.6. You can see how much Mach we have here. Mach 0.6, so 300 knots, 17,000 feet. The autopilot connected here. You can see the autopilot panel. We have the autopilot on. Here this is, and the auto thrust on. You can see the thrust here right now at idle. You can see our fuel level here. We have enough fuel for this to go for this flight. 15,000. We need 2 more minutes for this. Maybe we can disconnect after the autopilot and fly. We are flying the river again. So we have about 7 minutes left actually for this flight. You see how we descend. Keep descending. We have this beautiful view here. The night sky. This is our spacecraft for tonight. The Boeing 777-200 LX. It's still 12,000 feet above the sea level, or about 10,000 feet above the ground level. So we turn into the airport right now. We need to slow down maybe as the autopilot turns into the final approach. It also to activate one more mode. 10,000 feet. Disconnect the autopilot like that. We're gonna fly manually. 9,000 feet. We are very close to the glide slope, so maybe we're gonna use the speed, the landing gear. So we have like a few more so we have 10 plus 2 plus we have about 6 minutes to go for this flight. Need to make a turn here as we descend. Here we are very close into the airport, making a turn over the river, as you can see. Just to come closer. You can see the landing gear is down. So maybe we're gonna use some flaps here. So here is the river. We have like 5 minutes left. You see how close we are into the ground as we turn. Turn manually here, the Boeing 777. Use a little bit more flaps. We have 4 minutes left for this flight, for this video to end. So need to stay to the glide slope, flying manually. As you can see, we are very close to the river, and also to the airport. We are into the glide slope right now, and also very close to the ILS localizer. We will decrease our airspeed a bit further. More manageable flight speed here. So this is how close we are, 6,000 feet. We have a cloud now, as you can see. Need to stay aligned, and also we have like maybe 3 more minutes left for this flight. 3 more minutes. So here we are. You can see our position. You can see the landing gear is extended down. So we go for landing like that. Maybe 2 more minutes left. We have 2 more minutes exactly left for this flight. You can see the Lszh localizer. We are in the glide slope. You can see the radio altitude above the ground level, our barometric altitude, the glide slope, the airspeed. As we descend, maybe 1 more minute left before this video ends. Quite a few seconds left. 1 minute. 1:08. We have a couple more minutes left. So you can see we are in the Lszh localizer again. The glide slope and the Lszh localizer of the runway here, the airport runway. 14. We are 1,340 feet above the ground level, 2,700 above the sea level, climbing with 170 knots or about 270 kilometers an hour. So we go to landing. We have 1 more minute left. We need just to hold a little bit more. Just a few more seconds left for this flight. We're gonna have the video time to end in like 20 seconds from now. So we need to touch down the aircraft very quickly. So here we go. $300. Really? 10. Here we are. Just touch down. Reverse thrust and parking brake. So we use full thrust reverse. Full thrust reverse as we're slowing down the aircraft into the runway. You can see how nicely we just landed the aircraft into the runway 14 in Zurich International Airport. We made a very nice landing. You can see here we have the nose wheel. Here the landing gear, there is no damage to this. We made a very nice landing with about 250 kilometers an hour. Runway 14. Well, maybe 1 more minute left for this flight. So this